10 seconds. Yeah.
Ready? Welcome, everyone, tuning in here. As Richard going to catch me off guard as I'm trying to share this to everybody. We're live from Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Big Rich, Thrift, Barringer here for a fantastic show and sort view as we do every single month. Richard from OG, original presenting sponsor, Glynn Smith, and glad to bring you all the action as we always do from here every month.
Always great to be here at Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC up in Opelika Thrift, where they have incredible deals, and I cannot wait to talk about sports. We've got so much to talk about on this show, so I'm ready to get going.
All right, let's talk about, we're going to be dropping the Hula Hands Highlight of the Week winner. We have that for this past week. We had 3 nominees, and we have 1 winner. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. We have 6 football games we're going to be doing tomorrow night. We'll talk about those, preview those, because we will not have high school game day tomorrow. So this will be kind of the de facto preview for that because we actually have an early game tomorrow that starts at 5 o'clock. And then we will also talk a little college football. We got a big weekend. Georgia and Alabama. Georgia is off. Alabama and Auburn are both playing. So we'll talk about those teams, Falcons, and maybe anything else that we could think of. We are being presented by Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Coca-Cola, Houston Clinic, and Kinetic Credit Union. And we've got, let's start with on Tuesday, Richard. We were able to talk about the fact that Coach Carson Lay's team lost.
Yeah.
But congratulations on a great season for the Columbus Blue Devils.
Fantastic season.
So now that means the Glenwood Gators are the only team still playing because they just started playoffs in Alabama. They're the only volleyball team that is still alive right now, Richard, vying for making a deep playoff run. Everyone else has either won a championship or the season has concluded. As for softball, Richard, we talked about it last night. We had Hardaway playing, Shaw playing, Columbus playing, and give us an update on what happened around those teams.
All right, so let's start with Hardaway. They went up to Zebulon, and they lost to Pike County.
Really good Pike County team.
And 18-0. But congratulations to Coach Anthony and Hardaway to get to the second round. They upset Miller Grove in the first round. Columbus was taking on a very good Callaway team that they were the 22nd seed. They were just the darlings, and they were able to win that second game after beating Columbus in the first game. They won that second game last night 6-5. So Callaway punches their ticket to South Commons. We already know that Harris County is going to South Commons next week, and Shaw split games 1 and 2 with Crisp County last night. So at 6 o'clock at Debbie Ball Field, there will be a game 3 winner. Will go to South Commons as Shaw taking on Crisp County.
And you'll be there covering it and hopefully give us an updated score. We will not be streaming the game, unfortunately.
But that's okay.
We will be there covering it, and hopefully we'll get an interview with the winning head coach. I'll speak into existence, Coach Connor Britton and his Shaw Lady Raiders.
Yeah, I do have an update on Glenwood actually lost in the second round to St. Luke's Episcopal. They did beat Southside Selma, so congratulations to the Glenwood Gators.
Final record 25-21, Richard, and did not lose an area game and won the area championship. Unbelievable season
for
Coach Kayla Strength, and they come up short in the second round, but get at least a playoff win and then lose to a really good St. Luke's Episcopal team.
Yeah, and all that was happening at the multiplex over there in Montgomery.
Yeah, so they didn't actually get to host a first-round matchup, unlike the Georgia schools. They actually played first and second round at the multiplex in Montgomery. Let's take a break. When we come back from break, we'll announce that Hula Hands Highlight of the Week winner right here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Vision's Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Vision's Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Vision's Morning Show, and download the Sports Vision's radio app right now in your app store today.
We are the only live and local sports talk show in East Alabama, West Central Georgia. Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Glynn Smith Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. We do every single month. Get ready to smile. Over 600 new and used cars rolling the lot right now for you to take a test drive, whether it is the Chevrolet GMC and SUV headquarters from everywhere. People across the Southeast, people across the country, they come in because they always love the inventory. And that's the one thing that they have over everybody else is they got a ton of selections for you right now. They're hammering down high prices. Again, this month is due every single month. So go to glennsmith.com right now. See what you like. Mark down a few of them. Go take a test drive. Come feel welcome. Feel at home. Let the staff take care of you before you make this awesome decision.
Yeah, it might be one of the best decisions you make in your life. There's something about having your first car. I know my first car, I remember the year, the make, and the model, and it was mine. And I know that feeling. We have some young drivers out there that just got their driver's license, but you want to have either a used car or a new car, a pre-owned used. I think that's the way to go because you have the service shop over here. They'll take care of you. You'll get an oil change, tires rotated, anything to make sure that you're in the car of your dreams. So it's great that they have all the services right here at Glynn Smith Chevrolet here in the showroom.
No doubt about it. All right, let's talk about highlight winner. Before we do this, Richard, we had 3 highlights. We had the Nate Malone long-distance touchdown, first score of the game, and a 0-0 tie in the second half of a region championship. Glenwood Lee Scott, Nate Malone broke up the scoring. They ended up winning 20-7. Some of the other ones were a touchdown by Hardaway late in the game that was easy pick. Last one, Richard. Now that I just lost my train of thought, who was the last one that it was the highlight for the week?
I'm trying to remember what the highlight was.
I'm going to have to. It's sad that it's sad that we don't know this already off the top of our head, and we're supposedly professional broadcasters.
It was definitely a football game. We've had highlights that have been softball.
It was Pacelli's touchdown pass. Yes, Dustin Sherman threw a nice little
against Turner County.
Against Turner County. So those are our 3 nominees. Who's our winner? Big Rich.
All right, here we go.
They've certainly gotten the job done tonight.
Yeah, some people will be talking, saying it's not. That's going to be a touchdown for the Hardaway Hawks as Jalen Powers comes off the right end and gets a 17-yard run.
So there was our highlight of the week. Good call by Mike Frost. Obviously, the game was out of reach, and Hardaway gets their first win of the season. Don't forget, we'll announce the winner every single time. This time we did it here live from Glynn Smith, but normally it will be on Wednesday nights. You can vote on Tuesday every single week for the Hoolahans highlight of the week, and we should have some big-time nominees coming up this week for sure. We'll take another break, Rich. When we come back from break, we'll talk about those 6 games we're going to be at here. It's live from Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Be right back after this.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Are you looking for a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC truck and a great deal? Check them out side by side at Glynn Smith in Opelika. Take your choice of new Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off. Chevy and GMC heavy-duty trucks discounted up to $7,000 off. People from all over the USA save at Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile.
Back everyone to Glynn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Thrift, Barringer, Big Rich, the Ramblers on the roll, Big Rambler.
Rambling up here in Opelika.
That man is a rambler, and I'm telling you, getting his crosshairs,
Don't
prepared.
get my crosshairs.
You will know about Crisp County's 1999 championship cross-country team. You will be caught in the crossfires of Carver, winning the volleyball championship in 1975. Richard wasn't even here.
Wasn't even here in Columbus.
He'll be able to tell you about it. All in jest, though. We're having a lot of fun here, as always. All right, Richard, let's talk about the games we're doing. So we got actually 2 games tonight. We'll talk about the local games. Carver taking on taking on Jordan, Hardaway, Sumter County. I expect 2 games that will probably over by halftime. Sumter County vying for that second spot and a good seed in the power rankings. They need to continue winning on. And by the way, you got a massive game next week on the road against Columbus as well. And then for Carver, obviously kind of a tune-up. They got Jordan and Kendrick to finish out the season undefeated and stay in the top 2 of those power rankings.
I want to start with Carver Jordan because this game is going to be at Otis Spencer Stadium like it was last year. This time Jordan is the home team, but it's not going to matter. Carver's going to bring their fans, even though they're going to be on the visitor side. Last year's score was 66-6. I mean, it was clearly over in that first quarter, but Jordan did get a kickoff return for a touchdown. I think that is a positive that you could take away from a team that only has 24 players. Jordan is going to come up and they're going to fight in this game. You mentioned when you guys called the Hardaway Jordan game that there was a running back that Jordan has that they're really high on. And I think that Jordan is going to be able to do some stuff, but Carver's depth and their talent is eventually going to take over, and it's going to be over after the first quarter. Now, I don't know how many points Carver is going to put on Jordan. I don't know if Coach Jarvis Jones is going to put in the 3rd string, the 4th string, and eventually the junior varsity. I don't know how many players are dressing up for Carver.
Yeah.
But this is a tune-up game, and they got another tune-up game next week against Kendrick before they start the playoffs.
Speaking of Kendrick, the Cherokee are 1 win away.
1 win.
I had to do that moment of silence because they're 1 win away from me being right and Big Rich being wrong.
Oh, well, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because Richard said this team was going 1-9 this year. Oh, did you?
I think I said like 3-7, 4-6.
I had 5-5, 6-4, and they're 1 win away from getting that win number 5. They got Shaw this week, Carver next week. Massive game. We'll start there. It is actually an 8:00 kickoff because, again, we talked about this multiple times. The fair was supposed to be in town. They were going to be able to use A.J. McClung, so they decided to have a 5 and an 8 o'clock at Otis Spencer. Well, the fair got canceled. They still didn't decide to change it, so we'll have a doubleheader at Otis Spencer. We'll start with the second game first because it's the least of the important of the two because Columbus Spencer is a massive one for playoff implications. Kendrick Shaw 1-6, man. 1-7, excuse me. It's been a tough year. They would love nothing more than win next week against Jordan, finish 3-7 on the season. Now, on the flip side, Kendrick, they get their 5th win. Why can't they make the playoffs? What say you about tomorrow's Kendrick Shaw?
Well, I think it's huge, especially for Kendrick that's on the outside looking to make the playoffs, especially with the power rankings in 2A. This is a winnable game for Kendrick against Shaw. And I tell you what, you got to give credit to Steve Campbell and everybody that runs Otis Spencer Stadium. They're going to be in for a long night tomorrow. And look, they kept it at Otis Spencer because logistically trying to get more staff to run concessions, you have to have stadium scoreboard operators, all those extra, they have to be planned well in advance. And that's why they were able to have 3 high school football games in one night. But they decided, well, why don't we use the same people? It's going to be a long night. But we got that 5 o'clock game. Then we got the 8 o'clock game. We expect Robert Edmonds to call 2 games as the PA announcer. It's going to be a long night, but if you're a sports fan like that want to see 2 games in one night, this is really the place to be in Otis Spencer Stadium because we have 2 fantastic games.
Let's talk about the other one, Columbus and Spencer, massive matchup.
Massive.
Right now, if you look at the standings, you got the number 1, obviously, is Carver. Number 2, Sumter. Number 3, actually really tied for second, is Columbus. Both of them 4-1 is Columbus and Sumter. But if you go by power rankings, obviously Sumter would be the 2 seed.
Advantage to Sumter.
Now, number 4 is Spencer. They're 3-2. Kendrick's 2-3. So if Spencer beats Columbus, they'll go to 4-2. They will then be the 3 seed. And then that Sumter County Columbus game loses a little bit of luster. If Columbus does beat them, then we're talking next week for the second place in this region and potentially hosting multiple playoff rounds. So a massive game between these 2 teams. I cannot wait to be on the call. We got the consistency and the defense and the running game of Columbus High. They don't make any mistakes. They don't beat themselves. Richard, I'm looking since that loss to Carver. They beat Shaw 17-0, Greenville 42-8, Hardaway 38-7, and Kendrick 40-7. The defense has been absolutely sensational. On the flip side, remember Spencer started the season 0-3 this year, Richard. Yeah. Since then, they are 4-1, beating Manchester, Jordan, Kendrick, and now Shaw. Their offense is on another level. So it's Spencer's offense against the defense of Columbus. Cannot wait to see these teams battle it out.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear about how, well, Columbus hasn't played anybody. Columbus, if you look at the rankings, the power rankings for the 2A classification, they're in the playoffs regardless. They clinched last week against Kendrick, and of just looking at the rankings, they do have them ranked number 33rd. But remember, you got to take out all the private schools. But I still think a win against Spencer and possibly getting a win against Sumter County and then Columbus is going to be hosting a home playoff game. And they have not made the playoffs since 2018. How big would that be? That's the Columbus Blue Devils hosting a home playoff game.
They have not won 8 games since the 70s. 70s or 80s.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Columbus High is about to do something they haven't done in forever, which is be one of the top teams in the state. So big game, Columbus and Spencer. I'm really leaning Columbus in this one. I'm not going to make a call, though. I think it's really a coin toss, and it's going to be a lot of fun calling that one at 5 o'clock on Friday. The Harris County Tigers will love nothing more to finish out the season with a win, Richard. Tough year, injuries, young team kind of derailed them. They were really close to making the playoffs, but they ended up losing a heartbreaker to Stars Mill on the road. But Harris County takes on Mundy's Mill. I expect them to take care of business against Mundy's Mill, Richard, and finish out the season 4-6 on the year.
Yeah, very much winnable game for Harris County against Mundy's Mill. Right now, they're playing for pride. They're playing for who they got next year. It is senior night, so we're going to get to see those seniors get a good farewell. But finishing the year 4-6, I know that's not the goal they wanted, but you know it's something they could build off of for next year.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, ma'am. So Harris County plays at 7:30. Moving on, Richard. Some of the other games that we will be doing, remember, that's at 7:30. We're going to have that. We're going to have the 5 o'clock Columbus and Spencer game that we're going to be doing. But Pacelli's got senior night. They host a top 3 Westfield team in 3A classification, but they're both in the same district of the GIAA. I think it's a winnable game for Pacelli.
Oh, no
DJ
question.
Colvin has been sensational. He's about 15 yards from hitting 1,000. He's averaging over 100 yards a game. I got a sneaky suspicion that upsets brewing at Diamond Field. I think the Vikings take down Westfield in a low-scoring affair. You saw Westfield beat Brookzone last week 17-7. I can see Pacelli winning this one 21-17, 21-13. Shout out to Brett Taylor.
Hey,
I know he can't stand this pick, but I'm telling you, I like Pacelli in this one, Rich. And if they do get this win, watch them shoot up maybe into those rankings.
Player to watch out for Westfield, and I know Brett's watching, so he'll like this one. Win Hoots. That is their playmaker for Westfield that he is just electric. Pacelli's going to have to find a way to stop him. I think this Pacelli defense is going to have to get stops if they're going to get a win over Westfield. He's got a lot of confidence going into this game with a big win over Brookstone last week. And right now, Westfield jumped up into the number 3 spot, so they could be one of the top teams in 3A that could even win a state championship.
Yeah, they can. All right, now let's some other teams and some other games that we are doing. By the way, Richard, looking at the schedule, we have Enterprise on the road at Smith Station. Now, Enterprise 4-4 on the year. Enterprise is a really good team. Remember, they beat Pike Road, who
shellacked
Russell County this past Friday night. I think Smith Station has something brewing for an upset. And if they're able to get this win, I still think even if they don't, it's been a great year for Blair Harrison. The culture's been laid and the foundation's been cemented. But, man, would it feel good if they could get a win on senior night against Enterprise. And eventually they're going to – and think about this, Richard. They were at halftime of the Carver-Montgomery game. They were it was a close game. Valley, they were in it in the late in that one. How about Central, second quarter, late in that one? They were moving the football at over 350 yards. Yeah. Really, the games that they weren't in was Auburn, Opelika. They were in it and were winning against San Hope Elmore.
Yes.
And then they also, Dothan was close at halftime. Eventually, they're going to hold on to these or finish out one of these games. The fact they're even in it is a big stride from previous years. I got Smith Station brewing an upset, man. What about you? What say you about Smith Station Enterprise?
Well, you talk about an Enterprise team that's not going to make the playoffs. They're 2-4 in the region. This is a winnable game. It's at home. Smith Station, like you mentioned, they've played some close games, and I believe that they're going to get the upset to finish the year 3-7, which would improve their win total from going from 0 games last year to 3, which that would actually eclipse the mark in a 3-year period when it comes to win totals. So this is a great opportunity for Smith Station to pick up their 3rd win in the season.
Other 2 more games that we are doing this Friday night. Strong Rock at Brookstone. This could be one of the most physical games we have the entire week and the entire night. Strong Rock 6-3. No, they're really good at running the football. They close loss to Westfield. They beat Pacelli. They also were competitive in some other big-time games around the area. They beat Calvary as well. So they are taking on at Brookstone. It's senior night for the Cougars. For guys like Harrison Baker and A.J. Hayes, I don't see a back-to-back losses. There's no way for the way this season started for Brookstone. They're ranked number 3 right now. If they're able to get this win, FPD is probably going to win, and I don't think they get past FPD, so they're probably going to have to have a rematch with FPD on the road in that semifinals, even though we are hoping and praying that they get to do it. But if not,
that'd be awesome.
We may even have to make that drive down to Macon,
Georgia. Possibly.
Way down in Macon, Georgia. Brett Taylor, you hear that, right?
Hey, we
may be making a drive, FPD.
With Middle Georgia Sports Network. I'm sure we can collaborate with
there
our
will
Macon
be
colleagues.
Collaboration station for sure on that. But Strong Rock and Brookstone, a massive game. And if Strong Rock wins, they'll finish 7-3. Brookstone could literally move out of the top 5. Strong Rock can move in the top 5.
Yeah.
Big game with major implications. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I got Brookstone winning, but if Strong Rock wins, going to 7-3 could possibly get a 4 or even a 5 seed or a 4 seed. But right now, Brookstone's the 3 seed, Strong Rock is the 6 seed. They might end up facing each other off in the second round of the playoffs. Who knows? But yeah, I've been very impressed with this Strong Rock team. They have looked fantastic, especially against Calvary. How about that running back, Jake Johnson? I mean, I know
Johnson.
I know he sounds like just a regular household name, but Jake Johnson, who's been on a tear, 132 yards a game. Strong Rock is much improved from last year.
But I just don't see the Cougars and Coach Ian Headley ending the season on a back-to-back losing game.
No, sir.
Then at home where they have not lost yet. I got the Cougars finishing 8-2 and finishing in that top 3. All right, Richard, finally the last game. We are doing Calvary hosts the number 1 team in the GIAA 4A classification. That is the Stratford Eagles. They come in 7-2 after having back-to-back losses. They won last week against Tatnall. Stratford's got the leading rusher in the entire GIAA. He's averaging over 150 yards a game. It seems like he's got 1,200 on the season, Richard. They take on a talented Calvary team that has they came up short, close losses to Pacelli and Calvary. And then Strong Rock and Westfield. I mean, come on. Westfield, they lost by 1. Pacelli, it was 7-7 heading into the 4th. Brookstone, it was 25-13, and they had a chance late in that one. So tough losses for Calvary these last couple of weeks. And this one's going to be even tougher, I think. Nobody wants to end on a 5-game winning streak if they end on a 5-game losing streak, If they're able to beat, though, Stratford, they could jump into the top 7, top 6, and maybe not even have to play in a first-round playoff matchup. That's how big this game is for them.
That would be amazing.
And for Stratford, they could eventually drop out of the top 3. Still a massive game for both and where they're going to be seated. What do you got?
Well, this team started 5-0. They lost 4 straight. Losing Jamar Williams was a tough loss. Braxton Wilkinson has had a fantastic season with 18 touchdowns. But Stratford is a juggernaut in the GIAA. They are one of the top teams. They're one of the favorites to win a state championship. It is a winnable game because it is at home, but they got to play perfect football to try to get the win here. But right now, they would be in the playoffs. Like the latest rankings have them going to Pacelli. So, but that would be a first-round game as that would be played on Halloween night. But I think the Cavalry can do it. It's just that Stratford has proven that they could beat some of the top teams in the GIAA.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, there's the 6 games that we're going to be at. Some other games that are happening, though, around the area, Richard.
Yeah, Northside is taking on Jonesboro. Northside is not in the playoffs after losing a very close game to Stars Mill last week, but Jonesboro is in the playoffs. We also have, we mentioned Shaw is taking on Kendrick.
Yeah.
Russell County is on the road taking on Rehoboth.
And I fully expect a major bounce back for Coach Griggs and his
too.
team.
Absolutely. I do.
Glenwood's going to bye this week.
Glenwood's on a bye. Of course, Carver's playing Jordan tonight.
Yeah.
We have a game, Troup County. After beating LaGrange last week, they play Spalding, and then on Halloween night, we might have a clash of 2 undefeateds.
I cannot wait. And
we got plenty of time to talk about that.
And hopefully we will be there next week for that. Troup County, Sandy Creek.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Sign me up for that one.
We can't wait. We'll take a break. We'll have one more segment to go here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Middle school football is underway, and I know we will be looking forward to doing the middle school football championships, like we did last year, Richard, and should be a lot of fun. As for Muskogee County, I know they're underway in their season. They play every Wednesday night. Their championship actually comes up here in the next couple of weeks, so we look forward to being there for that as well. We're cheering on all the teams that are still playing for playoffs right now. We got football going on, but as far as college football, I think the Auburn Tigers got a must-win against Arkansas. If they don't win that game, Hugh Freeze should be fired.
Yes.
And I think that is the writing's on the wall. There's no way you can lose 5 in a row, especially to a 2-5 Arkansas team who's got a good offense, but they've already fired their coach. It can't happen. That has to be a win. You got to get to 500. You got to be able to take down Arkansas. I don't care if it's on the road. And by the way, they're not even favored in that game. So I'm not feeling good about the Auburn Tigers. And Georgia on a bye. Alabama, though, I expect the Crimson Tide. Got a little bit easy game this week after playing 4 consecutive ranked games, Richard. So,
man, I wish that game was at night because South Carolina at night before they play the Sandstorm is a different environment.
It is, but I
3:30 kickoff.
I expect Bama to take care of business against South Carolina.
Unless Lenore said, I think he's hurt.
Yeah, he's not playing. So, Alabama and Auburn, what are you thinking about this weekend?
Well, you said it. Auburn has to win this game. But watching this Auburn team, it is so frustrating because they find new ways to lose football games, whether it's missed field goals, whether it's you got the lead with the ball and you play conservatively. Jackson Arnold's not special. I think it's time to go to Deuce Knight. Jackson Arnold is pretty much Peyton Thorne. I mean, that's harsh. I know it's harsh, Auburn fans, but that's what you get. And he's got that big NIL deal, and it's just not panning out to results on the field. And
he's overrated, and you should already move on to Deuce Knight. I don't care if you're
Great.
trying to redshirt him. He should be starting right now. Jackson Arnold's not an SEC caliber quarterback. Yeah. He never has been. You swung and you missed at this. So if you're going to keep Hugh Freeze, you got to make the decision. Jackson's got to go, and you got to get someone else in there. The offense has been atrocious these last 4 weeks.
I do want to say this about Alabama. I think they're the best team in college football. I think Alabama, this version of Alabama with Ty Simpson,
I think Ty Simpson's also the best quarterback in college football.
Can win the national championship. I know. I can't believe I'm saying this now, and I know that we were all on the same mindset after losing to Florida State. Oh, Kalen DeBoer is not the guy. The Florida State was just dominating.
He does the opposite of James Franklin. He wins those big games. This guy's got the best record against big game opponents than anybody in the country right now.
But you die. I had to go back and watch that Florida State game. They didn't have Jam Miller. They didn't have Tim Keenan. It was Gus Malzahn's offense with Tommy Castellanos that was moving the football. And, yeah, the narrative was, well, Florida State out-physicaled them. Well, Alabama just continues getting better week after week. It was week 1. And so the Alabama fans that wanted Kalen DeBoer fired, you wrong. He's a coach.
Says the guy that wanted him fired and called Nick Saban 6-6 his last year. We'll move on.
We coming.
Let me tell you this. The reason, and this is a hot take, but I don't think anybody would disagree with me. The difference between Auburn and Georgia and Alabama right now is one position, quarterback. Gunnar Stockton, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, leads the team in rushing touchdowns. Looks like he could have over 20 passing touchdowns, over 15 rushing touchdowns. There's only been a handful of quarterbacks that have ever done that, and they were all invited to New York City. On the flip side, Ty Simpson is the most efficient quarterback I think we have in college football right now. He's the most precision passer. That is the reason why. Because aside from that, if you look at the skill set players, the running game, the offensive line, the defense, Auburn's roster is very comparable. I'm not saying they're as good, but comparable to Georgia and Alabama. Where's their biggest lie? Play calling, Mike Bobo, and the offensive coordinator now is losing off the top of my head from Alabama, who just came from Seattle.
Oh, that would be Ryan Grubb.
Yeah, Ryan Grubb coaches circles around Derek Nix and Hugh Freeze. And the quarterback position, Jackson Arnold, has been crap, terrible, and a joke. And Gunnar Stockton and Ty Simpson are Heisman Trophy favorites. There's your difference. If Auburn has an even competent quarterback, tell me if you heard that the last couple of years, they'd probably be right now at worst 5-2, maybe even better than that. This team has got talent. I don't want to hear it anymore, Hugh. This is disgraceful. I'm tired of it. And if they lose to Arkansas, it's time to make the move. The final thing I did want to talk about, Richard, is the Atlanta Falcons. They lost to your 49ers. Don't think that was a bad loss. They're 3-3, still only game and a half back of Tampa Bay. They got a terrible Miami Dolphins team coming in. And then here's the rest of the schedule, Richard. I know they got New England right after that, which New England is looking like a team that could make the playoffs this year. They're 5-2 right now.
Much more improved.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Richard. So they got coming up the Patriots, then the Colts. I mean, come on. The Colts are 6-1 right now. Panthers, much improved. You see they're 4-3 and on a roll right now, which is pretty freaking incredible. Then they got New Orleans at New York Jets, both winnable games. So I think Miami, New Orleans, New York, there's 3 games right there are, I think, guaranteed wins. You still got at Arizona, a terrible team. New Orleans, again, that's 5, I think, guaranteed wins. That gets you to 8 already. And then if you can go 500 between New England, Indianapolis, Carolina, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans, you go 3-3 against them, you're 11-6 on the year. There's no excuse. This Falcons team better make the playoffs. And they better beat Miami. Because if they don't, I'm going to start coming out now after I already said Hugh Freeze should be fired. I will say Raheem Morris should be fired because there's no reason you're losing to the worst team in football at home. When Mike McDaniel looks like a joke, he's a laughing stock. He's wearing clothes that are way too big for him. I don't know what he's trying to be right now. I guess he's trying to be Vanilla Ice. He's a afterthought of a coach. Tua Tagovailoa, he don't even look like he's going to be playing the NFL for much longer. There's no reason. If it happens, he should be fired before the end of the day.
I think Tua is going to end up playing for the Birmingham Stallions in the UFL.
Wow.
Look, Mike McDaniel, I mean, he's the one coach that the team quit on him. So the Falcons better win this game because I know Mike McDaniel's probably going to get fired eventually mid-season, but the Dolphins are not very good. Falcons need to win this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. Well, we had a lot of fun here as we do every single month. Don't forget, on Saturday, we'll be live from from Zaxby's, kind of recapping some of the high school football scores, getting you ready for your college football Saturday and more, and also just giving you some free food, man, because guess what? You buy this Saturday, you get it free a month from now.
Look it up.
Zaxby's, Phoenix City, Judson Humphreys. Don't forget to be there. Thank y'all so much for watching here. We'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your Thursday and get ready for Friday Night Football. 6 games up. And we'll see you on the Sports Vision Morning Show tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sports Visions, 92.41 FM. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
We are the only live and local sports talk show in East Alabama, West Central Georgia. Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.